Hey everyone, Sean Savin Moo at your service, and today we're going to be talking about the power that you get from a fully loaded arm club unit. Now, if you look here in our split screen, some of you are trying to get artificial width in the backswing, so you're waiting way too long, and that club gets, it waits too long, and then you get floppy at the top of the backswing. And sometimes you get to hinging way too soon because you've been told you gotta, hinge your wrists in the backswing. We're gonna show you how to naturally get this amazing amount of stored power in your swing so that you got everything you need to deliver effortlessly through the ball. Don't wanna miss this show. But before we continue, we would absolutely love for you to be a part of Wisdom in Golf by subscribing to our channel.
Please leave a comment or question down below and give us a thumbs up.
And please hit that bell so you don't miss any future videos.
So, a really important way to understand how the arms work. Let's say we're going fishing. So you take your club and you hold it upside down like a fishing pole, and you're going to get ready to cast that fishing pole. Now, casting is a fantastic thing for the golf swing. We just don't want to be casting at the ball. We want to be casting out toward the target. So in the backswing, your right arm is going to fold and your wrists are going to hinge, and they hinge on that anatomical snuff box. So, and then on the follow through, as you release that fishing line, you're not going to go toward the sky. You got to go toward the pond, the lake, or the ocean. So as we're releasing out there, an extended version of that release would be that follow through. See that? And an anatomical release in there. So as we go back, it folds and hinges, and as we come through, we get the full measure of that release. The arms are designed to make beautiful circles. And there's a tremendous amount of stored power in there. So if we look at that in the backswing, now if I wanted to do a full backswing and stop, so a really good way to get into a backswing that's not going to hinder your ability to load or force you to try and manipulate, you're going to go into the backswing in super slow motion. So we go very slow and relaxed. Very slow and relaxed. So you notice if we go relaxed, the body's got to move with you. And then right about here, if you don't allow that right arm to fold, then everything starts to get tight. And then the right arm starts to shove you out of position. And now we're going this way. Out of balance, out of sync. And it's going to be really difficult for you to go to the target. So we go super slow and relaxed and allow that right arm to fold wherever it wants to, right about there. And when it does, it's going to rotate the forearms and set you in a great position to hinge. So there's me getting ready to cast my fishing pole. So if let's say I'm casting my fishing pole that way, it would load here and release there. So obviously, if I want the golf ball to go toward the target, that would not be the greatest place to release, would it? But this is the best place to load. So slow, fold, and hinge. And now we're going to go cast the fishing pole out there. So we're throwing the club out there. So to help you, once we've got this all gathered in the backswing, to help you deliver to the target, we want you to go see Throwing the Club Sean Clement. Look at all the videos that come up by searching that in the search box, and you'll really appreciate how amazing this machine is when you've gathered completely, okay? So today's goal is to gather that backswing perfectly so that you got the power package you need to send it out there. So if we were to do, here's a second exercise for you. So you remember if we were doing the sword drill, you grab the sword, let it fold, release. Now, after you've released it that way, do the same thing in the backswing. Let it release. So you notice As I go back, that right arm is going to have to kick out of the way. If I do this, then I get it in the shoulder, and you're really going to injure yourself if you do that with any kind of power. So as you allow it to place itself, it'll load up really nicely. Now I've got what I need to get out there into my finish. So notice it reloads on that side. So if I take the club with both hands, it very much feels like I'm getting ready to hit a baseball. You notice how loaded I am when I'm waiting for that baseball? So everything is folded and hinged, and when the baseball comes, everything's already loaded and I can unload it into the field. So if I just cut grass in both directions, notice how as the club releases, the club catches up to my hands. I still get awesome width. I'm not picking up the club. And I got the width I need to deliver to the target, but I also have a folding and a loading of that arm club unit that's really, really adequate. So now we're setting you up to deliver what we call the kinetic chain. Now on our premium channel, we've got Kinetic Chain Series and the Kinetic Chain Facilitation Series, which is really all about delivering that stuff out to the target extremely naturally and very easily. And there's tremendous amount of detail in there for you. But for the purpose of this video, if we get this nicely hinged, if you don't get that sucker hinged at the top of the backswing, well, how in the world are you going to whip the club or throw the club? You would never go fishing like this, right? You would never hammer nails like this, and you wouldn't serve tennis balls like that. So everything you do, whether it's in tennis, hammering nails, slashing swords, or slashing golf clubs, this is exactly what we're going to be doing. So you want to feel that fold and that hinge in the backswing. Now we have what we need to throw the club in the direction that we want it to go. So let's have a look with a couple of golf shots here. We're on the Essex Country Club, Donald Ross Gem here in Canada, Windsor, Ontario. We're at 182-yard par 3, and you can see that's a very tightly tree-lined course. The pin's up front, so we got to be accurate. But at 182 yards, hey, it's no slouch. We got to get the ball out there. So I'm going with a 7-iron. Munashe is going with a smooth 9.
Smooth 8.
A smooth 8. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
And Savi's going to go with a wonderful little 5-iron. That's right in her wheelhouse for a 5-iron. Okay? So let's get to it. So a great way for you to build this into your golf shots, because you don't want to be thinking too much of the backswing when you're hitting shots on the golf course. You can do that, however, in your practice swing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go load up in the practice swing, make sure everything's nicely loaded up, and then we're going to send it out to the target. And then now, because if I don't get that same load in the backswing, it feels like I have to shove on it. So then the brain says, hey, this shove is no good, and this release feels unbelievable. You'll feel an incredible difference when you get that sucker loaded up. So then all I got to do now is just focus on releasing that feel in the direction I want that ball to go. So I pick an intermediate point right here. And now I'm just going to go with a nice throw of that release in that direction. So that felt like I got a really nice snap out of it. And there it is.
Great shot.
Left side of the green. We'll take it. All right, Moo, come on in. So Moo, before you swing,
Yeah.
go to the top of your backswing and stop.
Okay.
So one of the things that, Moo has gone to prodigious when it comes to distance in this last season. Look at the top of the backswing here, how that trail arm is folded. He's not trying to keep the arm close to his body. Notice how there's some nice space here between that elbow and his rib cage. So if you face the camera, Moo,
Okay.
Right on. So notice the hands are on this side of the body. They're not stuck behind them over here. So that's where you get that width from. You see how that you got lots of room for that elbow.
Yeah.
Now face away from the target, Moo.
Face away.
Face toward the screen.
Okay.
Nope, face right on the screen.
Oh, right on
Yes,
the screen.
perfect. There you go. Excellent. So look at that. Makes a beautiful, a little bit deeper than a rectangle. Yeah. And one of the things that I want you to pay close attention to is face the camera, Moo, with your grip.
Okay.
Sav, you want to make sure that grip is right in there. So, you see that? Notice how his index finger is hooked onto the club right now. So when he hinges the club and he gets that beautiful set of the wrists, the club is resting inside that index finger. So have a look at Knife the Grip, Sean Clement, to make sure that that trail hand has got that really solid index finger feel to it. You can also see best video on grip ever, and you'll see how I'm holding a clementine, right?
Yeah.
All right, Moo.
All right.
Let's see a couple of shots.
Okay.
Not bad. So it looks like the club face is just a little too closed.
Okay.
Kind of overdrew that a bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, what I want you guys to pay attention to, I mean, look, everything's great
Yeah. Just
except for club face angle.
that's it. Yeah.
Pay attention to the quality of the load and how Moo snaps right through. It's just unbelievable the amount of compression he's able to generate
Yeah.
because you load up so nicely, right?
Yeah.
Just, it's beautiful to watch.
Thanks, Sean.
Well done.
That should be good.
That should catch a piece of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, guess I should step out of the
So
way.
you said smooth 8, right?
Yeah.
And there it is, nutted in the center of the face.
Yeah.
So started at just left of the center line and just crossed the center line slightly. You're 36 feet from the pin,
Yeah.
but you're only 15 feet offline to the right. So I mean, that is a very successful shot
Yeah.
for a 190-yard carry. Don't forget.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So smooth 8, 190 yards. Now, when you watch Sav come up, I want to lead in with a little bit of a hammer. So stay tuned for Sav. You don't want to miss that. For all of you out there who have a strong grip and you've been told to make your grip neutral or else,
Yeah.
we got some news for you. Don't do it, all right? You just don't want to do it. Wait till you see this gal and you'll see the reasoning behind this. So release it right into that bunker to the left of that intermediate point.
There you go.
Nice. There you go, folks.
Get in the hole.
Got a little birdie try right here. That's a lovely 5-iron you got there, Sav.
Not bad.
So here's the hammer. Now, you obviously know what to do with that hammer, right? So come on in front of the camera here. And Moo, let's just make sure that's in the frame.
Okay.
It should be good.
Yeah.
Touch it.
You want me to zoom in or no?
No.
That's
Okay.
good?
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
So Sav was getting ready to hammer down on this nail. Go ahead, Sav. Right? So look at how lovely this grip is. This is anatomically correct for the place that she's hammering into. There's that anatomical snuff box, and then it's going to caulk on that, and it's going to uncaulk through that nail, right? Mm-hmm. All right, now we're hammering this way in golf, right?
Yeah.
Look what she just did. So, yes, come on, I want you to mean business. So we're going this way first, both hands on. Take your normal golf grip. There you go. And see the tilt? Now, notice the position of her hands. She is now able to load that arm club unit properly to go hammer through that nail,
Yeah.
right? So now take your club, stay facing the camera, and pretend you're going to hammer through that handle right there.
Oh.
Does that look pretty good, Moo?
I gotta zoom out. There we go.
Okay, so backswing. Come on down in slow motion. Look at that. So notice her hands are coming through first. Everything's still loaded. Notice the club face. She'll never have to worry about squaring up that club. And look at how nice and square that is coming into impact. Now, what I want you to do, Sav, is move the hammer. Push the hammer along the floor that way and show me what the release would look like. You want to do it up there? Okay, good. You don't want to put it through the screen, right?
There we go.
How's it look? Okay,
That's better. I had to zoom
good.
out.
So collect the hammer from where it is and push the hammer down. There you go. Stay right there. Stay right there. You got to hold that finish for me. So notice that release now, how this lead hand's getting out of the way and that trail hand is crossing over. That's for next week, and you really don't want to miss that one, okay? So, Sav, go to the top of the backswing. Look at that trail arm. That is absolutely perfect. Face the screen, Sav. Do a full backswing. So notice how her whole backside's facing the target, including her pelvis. And look at that loading of the club. Yes, and look at how the face of the club is facing the sky, just like Dustin Johnson. That's going to allow her to go deep, deep, deep that way. And this loading is what's going to provide that power. All right, let's see one more. Oh, sweet. Look at that flag hunting by Savannah Meyer Clement.
Great shot.
Awesome. So we hope you enjoyed that. Stay with us for next week when we're going to show you the building blocks for the follow through. All right, so let's get this done this week, and we'll see you next week.